Hello, everybody. It's your boy, Hazer. Another Hayvering. This isn't the one I recorded last Thursday that I've been talking about. So I recorded one on all the roster changes last week. Oh, it's Thursday today, about a week ago. I recorded I recorded a video before the changes got announced on Friday. But because they got announced in two goes, I can never put it out. And now it's not really worth putting out. I'll put it in the description down below. I'll leave it as an unlisted video and you can watch it if you want. But it'll be basically talking about the same things I'm going to talk about here. Probably talked a little bit more about the genetics and Quig moves in that one than I will in this, because I've kind of already talked about them. Anyway, if you didn't know, the final list of roster changes for this break has been announced. So what we already knew about was Jake off of the Warriors, genetics in for him, Quig off of the Hounds and on to the Kings. And since then, we've been told that NeilMah is replacing Quig on the Hounds. So NeilMah was coaching the Ravens. They are now coachless as far as I'm aware. Cxnnah from the EU SEC, he was on the Wargs up until now. He's replacing Scary D on the Gladiators, and Jake is replacing Inbound on the Gladiators. So those are the changes. In terms of Ravens coach, don't know who they'll get. Sharks did the classic contract signing tweet, but I have no idea if that was in any way real. Never is it? Okay. Let's talk about what's happened here. So, I feel like the weird bits are Jake obviously having an amazing year. He's off the Warriors, replaced by genetics. You're like, okay, the Kings will probably get him. They don't get him, they get Quig. You're like, okay, the Hounds will probably get him, right? They'll surely get him. They don't get him. They end up with Neil, and he ends up replacing Inbound on the Glads. So, interesting changes there. I cannot imagine a world in which this happened and Jake chose the Glads over the Hounds without any kind of other things going on in the background there. Fuck it. You know what? We'll just say it. I think that the Hounds didn't really want Jake, and maybe were either told him that or were waiting around and asking other people, and then Jake joined the Glads out the back of that. I believe Jake did join the Glads before Neil was confirmed on the Hounds. Is another bit. We'll probably hear more in the coming days. I'll chat. I'm going to try and line up some interviews. But yeah, that's what I think. Which, it's fucked for Jake, you gotta say. It's hard for him. I talked about this in the last video, that it's just, he's had such a good season so far. Like best support, it's not particularly close, I don't think, and he gets owned. He gets owned and ends up on the number 8 team, which is pretty tough. Which teams got better off of the back of this? So, the Warriors started off the changes. They, a lot of people will argue that they didn't get better. Some people will argue that they did. I think probably more people will be in the they didn't get better camp just because of how well they were doing. But I don't know. I'm undecided on whether we'll see. It depends how the teams gel, I guess. How the team gels. One thing I don't think I talked about in the last video is that Genetics is on a team with no other Europeans now, which is interesting. That's going to be a very different environment for him. But yeah, we'll see if they got better. I think that the Kings probably also didn't get better. Genetics, I would say, is a better, like him and Quig are quite similar players, but Genetics just a bit more experience, been around longer. Maybe you could argue that Quig's a little bit more moldable, but I mean, the Kings basically molded Genetics' real SPL level career anyway. So those guys have had a lot of influence on him and the way he thinks about the game, probably. So yeah, I don't think getting someone more moldable is necessarily an advantage there. So I would say that the Kings did not get better. But you never know. Maybe environment changing can change a lot. The the Hounds losing Quig to get Neil, I do not think got better. I think that Neil has been on a break from the game. I think hopefully it's, done him some good and he comes back super invigorated and stuff like that, because I don't think he had a particularly good year last year. And I don't think that he'll come into this team and immediately make them better than they were with Quig. The one place where you know that Neil has a big advantage over Quig is sort of comp experience and doing it when it matters. Neil, a world championship winner twice and an MVP once. So, yeah, he's got some credentials there. Yeah, he might bring calling. I remember I did a video earlier on in the season where the Hounds were having a great game. Was it against the Warriors, maybe? Someone like that. Yeah, was it the one where Jake got the 5-man terror route or something? But anyway, they were having a great game. They were really far ahead and they really should have won, but their late game calling and their inability to sort of just have that match experience to win games let them down. So we'll see if that can help them, but I would say the majority of me, and I would think most of you, will be saying that the Hounds got worse. I think Quig's had a great season, by the way. I'm sad to see this team not be together anymore when they were really hitting good form. I'll talk about that in a sec, though. First of all, did the Glads get better? I would say regular season, they definitely got better, because Scary stinks in the regular season. He is bad. He turns up when it matters, maybe like clutch-wise. You would be super happy having him around, but it seems like he wasn't a good scrimmer. He definitely wasn't playing well in the regular season. He did kind of pick this team up and drag, the Gladiators up, I guess. Wasn't exactly this team. He picked this team up and dragged them into the SPL in the qualification tournament. But since then, he's done fuck all. He did really bad in the play-in tournament as well, I thought. Like, that Shiva game he had, God, that was terrible. Not the play-in tournament, the playoff tournament. Sort of the games versus SCC. But yeah, he stank it up there. And I think Jake is... This team, it's interesting because you are losing a strong caller in inbound and someone who talks a lot, I think, and is a bit of a leader, and swapping him out for Jake, who is not the same in that respect. I also think a Jake Stewart lane will be interesting to watch. I have no idea if that's going to be good. But I think overall, most people would consider Jake as #1 support in the league this phase, and you're probably putting inbound at number 8. So those getting swapped, you got to put it as an upgrade, right? Some people have been talking about how Snoopy survived the roster changes here. Yeah, I don't think he was great last phase, but I think like the games and sets that the Glads won were a lot to do with actually Snoopy and inbound. I think both of them showed up in those games and did not show up in other ones. Played pretty poorly. A lot of solo kills against Snoopy this year so far, but he also was playing from Canada and presumably will be down in Atlanta for the next phase. Cxnnah as well. He is from the UK. From what I've heard, there will not be the usual 2-month wait on getting the player out to play games in studio. He will be out from as soon as the Glads are playing matches. I don't know if he'll be out before that, but from what I have heard, there won't be any visa woes. So yeah. Warriors, not really sure if they got better. I think maybe long-term better, short-term worse. Kings, I think got worse. Hounds, I think got worse. Glads, I think got better. That is my my estimation of the changes. It's unfortunate. Like, the Hounds were looking so strong. They were really hitting form. Like, Coast finally got over and was playing on good ping. I haven't seen Benny Q pick something and been like, what the fuck is that guy doing in so long? Sorry. He's cooking, man. He's doing great. Quig was playing really well. I think Oath was having a great time. Ducky, as usual. No, I would say more solid than usual. More better. Ducky was doing good. I was liking everything that was going on. this Hounds team, and I'm sad to see them not be the same team anymore. The other thing I would say is, like, for Quig, you're moving from arguably a team that was currently better in the Hounds to a team that's worse in the Kings. But I can see why he would move anyway. Ricky Bobby was asking about this in the last YouTube comments section, so don't say I never pay attention. Is it like a good move for Quig, this move? I think it's a good move for Quig just because of the amount of experience he can gain and the amount he can learn from the players he's now going to be teaming with. But like, you could argue he's moving to a team with perhaps less immediately seen potential. But yeah, like, those guys are big man. Variety and Twig have been around the scene for a long, long time. Hardcore has obviously won Worlds in 2 different roles on 2 different teams, so he knows how to win at the SPL level. And Quig in his rookie year, I think maybe can use that to accelerate. And also, they brought genetics through in a previous season, right? So they're capable of pushing someone up to be arguably the best support in the league. And maybe that's what Quig sees and what he wants and why he's doing that. We shall see. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about here? I don't know. I feel like I got it all. I've havered for sure. I had some very light notes here. Don't know where my Ravens coach offer is coming from. I haven't had Barracuda, Scream, Ven, and none of them have DM'd me yet. I don't know what's going on. With analysis like this, it's surely only a matter of time. And don't worry, I'll let them down gently. But I want them to beg, really. And then I still won't join, but it'll be a good time. That's it. Remember to subscribe, because subscription tastes good. Yum yum. Subscription tastes good. Thanks, gang. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. I'll see you all on TikTok Live. Peace off.